Taehyung could clearly saw you having difficulty in breathing properly. Your face were red and puffy. Tears kept rolling down your cheeks as you tried hard to push him away. You was having a panic attack. Why, he asked, his voice filled with worry. Taehyung, you tried to say something but nothing came out of your mouth. The moment he heard his name from you, he quickly let you go and took few steps back. Your tiny body was shaking violently. The sight of you surprisingly made his heart ache. What was about you? After that last night incident, he tried not to think about you but felt badly. Your brown hair, plump lips, smooth skin, the way you mourned in pleasure, responding to his touches. He just planned to play with the kitten. You were slowly tying him with your knots. You was shaking fear was clear in your eyes. You was trying to hide yourself. You was trying to free yourself. He was never so scared in his life, but hell, that sight made him scared. When you called out his name in your vulnerable state, he felt that desire to protect you in his arms. Your eyes searched for something. He watched you as you hurriedly headed towards the door before running out of the room. He didn't stop you, but he followed you from behind. He knew where you was going. You were going to the garden. That place made you feel free. You opened the glass door and ran until she reached the middle of the garden surrounded by trees. He slowly followed you without making any noise. You looked up at the night sky while mumbling something which he couldn't quite understand. You wrapped your hands around your small frame in a protective way. His eyebrows frowned as he stepped closer but maintaining a decent distance between you and him. You were sobbing as you still was facing difficulty to breathe. Your chest was heaving. Your pain, it made his chest ache. He gave you time to calm down. He stood there behind you until you calmed down. You sobbed quietly before turning around and looked at him. Your eyes were still red from crying. You tried to avoid his eyes as you was about to walk past him, but he held you by your arms. What happened, Ryan? Why are you crying? He asked. His voice was demanding. Nothing, just you tried to give him an explanation, or should he say a stupid excuse. What? That you had a bad dream? He knew you are scared. He tried to sound gentle and soft, but his voice sounded hard as he waited for your answer. It's none of your business. You said through your sobs. He knew you was having a mental battle. You needed to take out all your pain, but you couldn't trust anyone enough here to talk to. And for some unknown reason, he knew he was a stupid asshole to think about it, but he wanted you to talk to him. His chest ached at your pain and he wanted you to open up so you could feel relief. That was not the answer of my question, Mayan. He took a deep breath. What are you trying to run away from? He tried to sound as gentle as he could. Being gentle was something he never thought he could be. You stayed silent for a moment, looking down all the time. He held your chin in a gentle grip and made you look into his eyes. His eyes went from hard to soft as soon as they landed. They landed on your teary ones. Your chin quivered as you sobbed silently. His kitten looked so frightened. He sighed. Wyan, you can talk to me. His voice surprisingly was soft. More tears kept coming out of your eyes as you tried to talk, but something stopped you. He quickly wrapped his arms around your tiny body, placing your head on his chest as you trembled in his arms. Your shaking hands didn't waste a second as they held the side of his shirt like you didn't want to let go. Taehyung tightened his hold, pulling you closer. His one hand went up as he softly caressed your hair and rubbed your back in a soothing way. What he was feeling at that moment was new to him. He never was gentle, he never felt anyone's pain. But this school, there was something about you that he couldn't quite figure out. You was like a big mystery. You pulled him towards you, but your innocence captured his attention and he was so weak to fight that feeling. Wyan, there is nothing to be scared of. Did I hurt you? He asked. His heart ached at the thought of hurting you. He didn't want to be the reason of you having a panic attack. His heart relaxed and he sighed as you shook your head softly, assuring him he didn't cause you pain. Your hands around him tightened as he rubbed your back gently. There was something that was chasing you. You was losing your mind. You wasn't ready to talk about it, but keeping everything inside you was just hurting yourself. There was no one here who you could trust and talk. You nodded your head. You totally calmed down in his arms. Wyan, do you see the tree? He asked softly, his finger playing with your hair as he pointed towards the tree in his garden. If you ever feel like you are losing everything, just remember that trees also lose their leaves every year. But still, they stand tall and bravely because they know better days. Better days are coming. His voice come out soft. He never knew he could sound like this. But whatever he said this from his heart. You sigh as you relaxed in his arms. Taehyung wanted to hold you more, but his phone rang. You flinched before taking few steps away from him. You look shocked at the moment they just shared, but he don't blame you. Without waiting for anything, his kitten quickly ran towards the glass door. He looked at your back until you totally was out of his sight. Taking his phone out of his pocket, he answered, "What is it, Jimin? We need to go to Orublu now." He replied. Taeyong scrunched his eyebrows as he rubbed his temple and face tiredly. Orublu is one of his casinos. Is that important to go now? He asked tiredly. He wanted to make sure you was fine. Is it? It is, Taeyong. It's about Vincent. His voice held seriousness. Oh, that MF. Okay, I'm coming. He hung up the call before heading towards his car. You called me in the middle of the night. It has to be important, he said while walking towards his chair in his office. Vincent planned another attack. We tried to track his location, but we found nothing. He is good at hiding himself. Jungkook spoke. Whatever it is, that coward isn't as powerful as us. His voice filled with confidence. That asshole was hiding himself all the time because he knew he couldn't fight Taeyong. He knew the moment he comes in front of Taeyong, it's the end for him. He has some good connections with some violent criminals organizations, especially with the Mexicans. They are helping him with hiding and for the next attacks. Jimin replied, I know, Mexicans never cooperated with us, but it doesn't matter. Every single one who comes in my way will fall. Prepare our means for the mission, he said curtly. Tighten the guards of my every casinos and restaurants. Any news about the bottle? We have got those men who were abusive towards the women. Everything is going fine now there. Jimin said, Okay, prepare the files tomorrow. I'll check them out, he said before heading out of his office room. The only thing he could think about now was his kitten. He needed to go and check her out.